I get money in my agency for studies on Africa's potential to process mangoes. But I don't get the money to say, can you help me build the pilot plant? It's $3 million. Can you help me combine your aid from the Dutch government with a processing company where you put part of the money and I build a pilot plant to show President that he can process his mangoes and stuff and put it on Tesco in London? That's what I want to see in the food crisis now. Not just the emergency, but how we combine in public PPP, combine ODA with some private sector venture capital to help these countries link to global markets. So I raise the issue of corporate social responsibility. Because let us face it, today Africa is washed with minerals. That's why the investment is coming. And by the way, in spite of lack of rule of law and democracy, they're coming in to sign contracts with us. But can we have a CSR, a corporate social responsibility, that says to these companies, as Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is trying to do in Liberia with Mittal, to say, hey, we want to know the revenues. We want to see that you don't import chickens to feed your local workers, but you help our farmers produce the chicken. Can we have a common value system with CSR for everybody, whether it's Chinese, American, whatever company? Because today it is the reality that our comparative advantage is still minerals. What we want to see today, after 50 years of training with the world, is will these companies also say, you know something, it is in our enlightened self-interest that we also invest in agribusiness supply chain, so these people supply us our food. So we help the economy evolve and the education system, so they have factories too.
And that's the same thing with African nations. They have resources that can make them billions and trillions of dollars. They don't need a loan from China. They don't need nothing from the IMF. They don't need nothing from the World Bank. Just sell your resources at market value. But it's like the leaders who's running these nations, it's like, what's so hard to figure that out? I don't understand it. It's like simple. That's why I said sometimes I wish I could go run one of their countries and show them how it's done. It's like, shoot, we'd be Mansa Musa all over again, fooling with me. But the people are suffering due to that every day. Now, they say Sierra Leone is one of the poorest countries in the continent of Africa. But it doesn't make sense because they have resources. Sierra Leone, for instance, and their natural resources have diamonds. Just 1 kilogram is worth over $1 million. Over $1 million. And you're going to get a loan from China. That's $318 million to build an airport. It does not make sense. It's no common sense to say you got something sitting in the ground. All you got to do is extract it. And you just millions upon millions of dollars. We're not even talking about gold. The last time I looked at gold was what, about a little over $1,200 an ounce? Just those two alone could turn the economy around in these countries. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand it. Like, why Kenya and all these different ones taking loans from China? That's stupid. I mean, I'm just saying that, like, if you don't have leaders who is competent enough to use the natural resources, there are many brothers and sisters in America that you could bring in and help you guys run those countries. Trust me, we will love to help you run those countries and make those African nations the best place ever, turn them around, make them no different than like America is. And sure, you watch how many people want to come back to Africa at that point once you turn it around. Because the only reason some people hold back from going to African nations is because if you come from a place like this and then go to some places over there, not all, then it's like, oh, well, why? Because you can't take people from a first world nation and take them to some place that's considered third world. It's just not going to happen. But it doesn't make sense for Sierra Leone to be poor when you have those kind of resources sitting in the ground. Doesn't make sense. The IMF shouldn't be telling you anything. You don't need a loan from nobody. None. So Sierra Leone and all these nations, you got to start getting your own resources and selling them at market value. And you don't have to worry about China doing anything. You don't have to worry about the Europeans. You don't have to worry about nobody. You can have your money. You have an excess of money. You can build up your military. You can protect your nation. You do everything that you have to do just as a country. But when is going to be one president in an African nation to say, I'm going to take the lead in making sure our country is the richest African nation on the continent? Because it's going to have to happen. So Sierra Leone did good by rejecting China, but it came at the council of the IMF and the World Bank. So what are they up to? You know good well they're not coming to Sierra Leone and saying, oh, I just want to help you and I just want to make sure you... No, you know how it is. They want their hands and tentacles in something else. Start a movement in your nations to say sell those natural resources for market.
Let other people collect pa we safe. Let Ghana man can collect like how they collect. Let una left for go Banjul and Guinea no more for buy market. Why they on cheap pass we on? Now because we get for clear certain thing there. So we say get free ports. Let una do una business fine. Yeah? Now then thing and they will want to do for una. But all that's not the work if you not get good leadership. Me can the young killer come for work for the common man. By the grace of the Almighty, inshallah, we will reach it together with una. But not to me one get for do more. Now we all get for join on. And they look for them good young boy and young girl. We believe say themselves for take charge of their destiny. Can't join NGC log you symbol. So you go be councillor. So you go be MP. But hey, would they go check na your community if they want you? We'll go check na your community. But do ya? Una not afraid. Now time for come forward. Then youth man, then young girl, now una get this election. Let no pay no shape money pa una. The money where they bring, now the money where them if you don't give una forget job. Now that Ebola money son don't cancel. We don't want that. We want next 10 way politics can in 5 years. After una don't get President Yom Kela, we politician can't una now you dey give money now. Let God bless alone, let God bless una, yeah? Thank you very much.